wide open.
Yes, sir!
Lastimosa, another three. Bang!
Jerome Lastimosa,
Oh, go! Triple for Jerome Lastimosa. Melesio all day to shoot. Gets it to go. Lasal is off and running. Melesio behind the back pass again. Justin Baltasar brings that baby home. Cani against Desiderio. The bang and the bucket. They swing it to Comboy, who's had the hot hand. Still finds a way. Fading away on one leg. Ildefonso will drive right. That's all muscle. Changes direction. Twice he does that. Navigates through Pasay traffic. Double-double performance for Philip Manalang. Straightaway jumper. Nothing but sweet string music. Manzo with a steal! All the way! That's one behind the back. Highlight, the University of the Philippines after 32 years! CJ for three! Are you kidding me? Subido with a crossover. Subido for three! Renzo Subido! Ravenna leaves it for Edge. Oh! Here's Matt, the 30. Highlight coming. Two-hand slam. Dominance and the excellence of the Ateneo de Manila Eagles continues. Day number 19 for UAAP Season 82 Men's Basketball Tournament continues here in the heart of Cubao, Quezon City, the Araneta Coliseum, the venue for UAAP Wednesday. Earlier today, we had two close ones in the games number 46 and 47 as the UP Fighting Maroons escape the comeback of National University, and so does the FEU Tamaraos earlier against Adamson University, which sets up game number 3 and game number 48 for your Wednesday triple header. A big one. DLSU Green Archers versus the UST Growling Tigers, round number 2 meeting. Live on SNA and on Liga, courtesy, of course, of ABS-CBN Sports. We are exclusive here in our broadcast from the Big Dome. You're also watching us in high definition on SNA HD and on Liga HD. I'm Boom Gonzalez, together, of course, with Coach Ronnie Magsanok, who will break down this third game of our Wednesday triple header today. And we are joined and flanked, of course, by our storytellers from both sides. We begin with Ayana Perlas, who will tell us stories from the LaSalle side today. And then on the other side of the court is Makayla Chavez, who is going to report for the UST Growling Tigers, who are on a 2-game winning streak. Good to see everyone today on this Wednesday afternoon. Coach Ronnie, I begin with you. What is the importance? I know I say it's a big game, and every game right now has been big for the UAP, but what is the importance of this UST DLSU matchup vis-a-vis what happened in today's matchups against Adamson and FEU and UP and NU?
With the results of the earlier matches between UP and NU, of course, and the initial and the match previous to this game, FEU versus Adamson, critical in this matchup for UST simply because their goal is to get to 9 wins and kick off UP from that second spot in the stepladder format in case Ateneo will sweep the double round elims. Will guarantee them that next step ahead of the 3 and 4th place teams, dahil yun maglalaban pa yon for the right to meet the second place team, which will have a twice to beat edge. Doubly critical for LaSalle simply because it's a matter of survival for them. If they want to make it to the Final Four, every game is a must win for them. FEU won its seventh match earlier, and that's why the target right now for LaSalle is get to 7 wins. But if they really want to ensure a spot in the Final Four, getting to 8 wins is top of mind for the Green Archers.
FEU's on a roll, Coach Ronnie, and beaten these two teams,
Correct.
UST and DLSU, in crucial matchups, and then that big win earlier on to stave off Adamson University to really bolster their team standing. Now, as I mentioned when we began the broadcast, this is the second meeting for these two teams. In the first round, well, UST was on a high coming into this game, but DLSU in the second quarter onwards just didn't look back in this matchup.
This was the final game in the first round for these two schools. This became the third win, only the third win of LaSalle in the first round. They were 2-4 prior to this final match, which they won in terms of just offensive outburst. This was the best scoring effort for them, and this was the least defensive points given up para dito sa team ng UST. This was a match that saw UST fall to 4-3 when their target was to go 5-2, and this was a breakout performance for Serrano, who exploded with 29 points in 23 minutes, backstopped by Aljon Melesio, who had a 13-point performance in 29 minutes. Bren Paraiso played a starring role together with Chabio for UST in a losing cause.
And UST was listless in this game. They just
especially defensively.
Right, no, they couldn't get anything going in that game against DLSU. DLSU came in prepared, came in focused, and really did a number on UST, which is what happened to DLSU in the FEU matchup. Diba? Parang ganyan na ganyan yung nangyari. And I think if you're a LaSalle fan, it's not only the loss that hurts, it's how they lost, it's the timing of the loss, and it was the opponent, Coach Ronnie.
Correct. Because this is the same opponent that dealt them a 66-55 defeat in the first round. Lowest points scored para sa team ng LaSalle in the first round, and again in round 2, least amount of points scored by the Archers. They were hoping that after beating UE, they will get a winning run. However, FEU had other things in mind. FEU is the second hottest team behind Ateneo here in round 2. But LaSalle will offer no excuses. They were outshot from the 3-ball, 39-18. And in terms of assists, this is a season low likewise for the Archers. But they banked on their offensive rebounding for the best rebounding team so far this year, but it was not enough because itong FEU was up by 16 at the onset, and every quarter was just a single, or rather under 20 points for the Archers, except for that 29-point quarter, or rather that 18-point quarter. Hindi pumalo over 20 points, and they only won one quarter in 40 minutes versus FEU.
At umabot pa ng 22 ang abante dito ng FEU kontra DLSU. One bright spot, well, Balti Baltazar was not only steady in that game, as you'll see the spread of his points all throughout the game, but he's been steady for LaSalle this season. He's been having a great season for DLSU, Coach.
This is a mythical 5 member in season 81, especially when Melesio and Karakut, who have struggled in the last 2 games, have not been able to put up their big scoring numbers from the backcourt. This was the trigger for Justin Baltazar to follow up his 25 and 25 performance against UE. The first time we've heard of someone to post those numbers after Jerby Cruz and Araba Lucini were able to impose those record-breaking numbers. Right now, you're talking about someone who is the scoring leader for LaSalle. Number 5 in rebounds, number 6 in scoring overall, number 9 in offensive rebounds, number 9 in blocks, number 8 in field goal percentage. But more than that, he wants to take LaSalle to the Final Four once again, because right now, they are standing on shaky ground.
That's why they were rooting for an Adamson win earlier today. They were all watching that game and the FEU-Adamson matchup earlier. So they were all rooting for Adamson, but Adamson could not pull it off against FEU in our previous game. Now let's bring in Ayana Perlas back into this conversation. Ayana, I already asked Coach Ronnie, what happened to LaSalle in that last game? Let me throw the question to you, and from your side, the inside track on DLSU, what happened to your team in that last game against FEU?
Well, Coach Ronnie, after the loss of the FEU Dams, you and everybody else asked the same question, and to put some reason towards why they played that way, Coach Jermaine actually gave the Archers a chance to speak up one by one on what they think happened in that game, which seemed to be their worst. This resulted to what usually would be a 15-minute end-game huddle stretched to an hour. Now, first to speak, Captain Andre Karakot admitted that the collective team effort wasn't there. They didn't help each other. Instead, everyone was thinking of their individual performances. And to summarize the team's notions, it all boiled down to basically the lack of effort, fire, and mental preparation, having the wrong mindset, and how FEU played a championship game. And lastly, ika nga ni Balti Baltazar, it wasn't our lucky game. Nothing was going right. Now, Coach Jermaine Bird emphasized how they can't have excuses. They need to remember that they are fighting for a Final Four spot, and coming to today's ball game, they know that the Tigers are here to redeem themselves from that first round encounter, which is why the Archers have come prepared and are planning to mirror their performance from that first round encounter into today's game. Back to you.
You know, one of the best assisting team and perimeter points team, Ayana's team, DLSU, but in that game against FEU, they got doubled up in three-pointers, they got doubled up in assists. So it's already done. Or they want to forget that. They're 2-2 here in the second round. They want to improve that, and they're going up against a hot team with a 2-game winning streak and a team that is 3-2 here in the second round, the UST Growling Tigers, and we'll talk about them in a bit. You are watching the UAAP on SNA. We talked about the DLSU Green Archers earlier. Let's focus our attention on those guys. The UST Growling Tigers, 3-2 in the second round, 2-game winning streak. The last victim was National University. This was a tight game in the early goings. I did this game. I had the opportunity to do this game at the Inares Center. And it was a tight game at the start. And then UST found their groove in the second quarter and never looked back.
UP was the first victim para dito sa UST, losing in overtime 82-78. While NU took the brunt of the next effort coming from UST, losing in their last encounter 88-76. There was no repeat of a close match that we saw in the first round.
Overtime yun, no?
That game went into overtime. At talagang panalo na yung NU, hinabol pa na rin sa bando and the rest of the Growling Tigers. But in their second round matchup, you can take a look at how well USC was able to deflate NU's defense in terms of rebounding. Imagine, plus 28. Inside scoring, domain of UST. Perimeter scoring, UST beat itong team ng NU. Plus 10 in fast break points, plus 3 in assists. But more than that, they were in cruise control after a second quarter break away from NU. And they made sure that there was no more explosion aside from the Ildefonso brothers. And that's why they were 12 points over their scoring average. And we talk about their defense, just within the line of defense that they won in terms of points given up in that third win in the second round for UST.
21-12 run was the one that killed NU. And,
killer run.
Yeah, and they were ahead by as much as 23 points in the first quarters of the last two games. Since binanggit na ni Coach Ronnie yung UP na panalo, CJ Cancino, 8 points in the first quarter of the UP game. He started off the scoring for UST against NU. 9 points right away on 3 triples. CJ Cancino.
Against UP.
8 muna dun against UP.
Correct.
9 then against NU dun sa first quarter. So the first quarters have been big for this player of the week, CJ Cancino.
Right, the most recent player of the week. And previous to him, it was Justin Baltazar.
Oh.
Only 40 points for Cancino in the first 7 matches. Is 8 in scoring for UST, but in the last 2 games, he has played a starting role for the Growling Tigers, and they have won those last 2 games, and that is the kind of impact that Season 80 Juniors MVP has had in the campaign of UST in round number 2. Only 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist per contest. He nearly tripled his scoring average, was one of the top rebounders in their last win. But more than that, he has picked up his game, and that's why they're trying to chase down UP for the 2nd spot, hopefully behind Ateneo, in case Ateneo sweeps its last 2 matches.
And they become an even more dangerous team, talking about the UST Growling Tigers, when this kid, CJ Cancino, is getting himself going. So even with Renz Abando, stationed nung last game against UP and coming back against National University, the fact that CJ Cancino is doing very well for UST bodes a big problem
Correct.
to a lot of the other opponents out there. As we talk to Makayla Chavez from the UST Growling Tigers, not just 1, but 2 big wins, emotional wins, especially against the UP1 for your team, Makayla.
Well, Blumen, Coach Ronnie, previously we've all been witnesses of how wild these UST Growling Tigers can be, most especially when everybody is in their deadly forms. Player of the last game, CJ Cancino, yet again delivered his A game. And he shared, masaya ako kasi last few weeks medyo frustrating. Hindi ako makapag-contribute ng maayos. Then now, nakuha ko na yung game na hinahanap ko. Everyone else inside the dugout patted each other's backs as they praised one another. Meanwhile, the coaches want the pack to right away move on from the earned triumph and think about their next game, as Coach Alden Ayo foresees that today's match against the De La Salle Green Archers would be very crucial. Coach Ayo was firm when he said, "Wag isipin sino kalaban, isipin ano dapat gawin para manalo." Now, this may sound a bit surprising, but I just want to add that Mark Nona just got discharged earlier from the hospital. He wasn't present during the trainings as he got confined. Reason behind was him having tonsillitis, but right now, being the admirable player that he is, he still wants to physically contribute on the floor, so he's here at the arena ready to offer his all anytime soon. Gentlemen, back to you.
Maraming salamat, Makayla Chavez. We're happy to hear that he is well. He's not the only one, Coach Ronnie, na may na biktima ng sakit
sa Lasal, ang dami.
Marami nga daw may sakit. But the game has to go on. It has to be played. And we'll get to that game in a bit. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more of the UAAP on SNA. Back inside the Araneta Coliseum, and we are minutes away from the game between DLSU and UST. We cannot not talk about a couple of guys, wing players for Coach JB and Coach AA. Simulan natin dito sa Lasal. An explosive, athletic wing player for DLSU. Your impressions of him, not just in that last game, but so far, Coach Ronnie, here in Season 82.
Well, I thought that Malonzo, amidst the hype, has really acquitted himself really well. It's not easy when so many people are expecting so much from you. And time and again, he has performed not just to the level of people's expectations, but with what LaSalle needs of Jamie Malonzo. Right now, you're talking about someone who is the second leading scorer and the second best rebounder likewise for the Green Archers. 131 points and 99 rebounds in 11 games. A little under 14 points, a little under 10 rebounds. When we talk about scoring, ayan, ang kanyang kanilalagyan. Nakikita natin before he was in the top 10 among the leading scorers. Number 7 in rebounding overall, played 28 minutes, scored 13 points, 5 of 15 para dito sa De La Salle in their last loss.
All right, he came into the league, a lot of people talking about him prior to the start of the season. Doon naman sa UST, tahimik lang. Alam naman natin na, oy, Renz Abando will be joining UST. Pero nag-ingay sa simula ng ating season. So all eyes are both on Jamie Malonzo and now Renz Abando. Dumami pa yung mga mata recently, and he has come out of it alive and surviving, Coach Ron.
Well, the initial buzz about Abando was this is one of the top first-year players. When we talk about his numbers, we talk about his performance, he has more than lived up as to why he was a highly recruited player out of high school. But the buzz in the last few days is something different, but all that is in the past. He's back in active roster, 127 points, 55 rebounds in 22 minutes per match. Nothing in the first quarter, 2 points in the second, 7 in the third, nothing in the fourth in 16 minutes. Was also a top weapon off the bench for Coach Aldinayo. One key stat for Renz Abando throughout the competition, in the top 10 in blocking. And that's a good rim protector helping out Chabio patrol the paint for the UST Rolling Tigers.
Yung mga maliliit at makukulit naman ang pag-uusapan natin.
Nakon dami niyan.
And two very big scorers, even back when they were in high school for DLSU, Subido and Melesio, two gunners for both teams. We cannot not talk about them in today's matchup.
Of course, to your left, of course, Aljon Melesio looks at Aldinayo as his mentor. They won a championship for LaSalle, but they have moved to different directions. Fourth leading scorer for De La Salle, second best three-point shooter. At meron siyang kabuang 116 points and 35 assists in 11 games in 24 minutes per contest. While to your right, of course, the fourth leading scorer for UST, 97 points and 40 assists in all the matches for UST. Number 7 in terms of assists. Overall, number 7 in terms of three-point shooting. Number 8 naman si Aljon at number 9 sa assist. Second, best passer para sa UST. But one thing that has been critical in the success of Renzo Subido this year, only 14 errors in 12 games. And this is
Yun ang mabigat.
a big testament to his change in outlook as a playmaker for UST, being more responsible and being more accountable for how the team runs under his baton.
And as the media likes to put it, he's been clutch for UST.
Oh, no doubt, no
also. At huling pagkakataon na makikita nitong dalawa, si Melesio at saka si
Kung
Subido,
sakali.
dito sa UAAP kung sakali.
Kung sakali.
In the regular season,
Right.
at least. JB and AA, they will lock horns. UST, DLSU when we come back.
Tigers Aldinayo. And now please welcome the De La Salle University Green Archers. Number 0, Rel 2. Number 1, Kurt Lojera. Number 2, Encho Serrano. Number 3, Keith Meeker. Number 6, Joaquin Manuel. Number 8, Spencer Lim. Number 11, Aljon Melesio. Number 12, Joel Cagulangan. Number 13, Jamie Malonzo. Number 18, Francis Escandor. Number 19, Justin Baltazar. Number 22, Jordan Bartlett. Number 23, Tyrus Hill. Number 30, Andre Caracot. Number 32, Brandon Bates. Number 42, James Lapot. Head coach of the Green Archers, Gian Nazario. Presenting to you the officials for this game. Referee Mike Tolentino. First umpire Jaime Rivano. Second umpire Lester Celeste. And game commissioner Edita Boticario. All players, please proceed to your respective benches.
Basically, we've had two escape acts today in our
yes.
first two games. UP fending off National University 80-77, and FU fending off a stubborn Adamson University. Had a lot of chances to tie or win the game. But now let's see how this will play out between UST and DLSU. Let's look at the starting lineups. And CJ Cancino, 7th start of the season, and like we said, the last two games, 2 triples and 1 long two in the first quarter of the UP game. 3 triples straight against National University in the first quarter of the NU game. So we'll see how he will start, and UST. There's a certain calmness in this atmosphere right now, Coach Ronnie, which is a little scary.
You can feel the tension here in the
May
side of the
tension,
Archers. So.
Pero kahit kanina pa nung nanonood sila sa Adamson.
Nararamdaman mo sa mga mukha nila. If they lose here today, they will automatically send UP and UST to the Final Four. But a win here today by LaSalle will enable them to still target 8 wins at the most. Kasi kung di sila makalusot dito, pito na lang ang pwede nilang takbo.
Oo nga, tama. Mike Tolentino, Jaime Rivano, and Toti Celeste ang ating referees for this game number 3, game number 48 of day 19. Andito na tayo sa ating dulo, ang ating elimination round. I shouldn't say regular season, but elimination round.
Because there will only be 3 more play dates after today. And that will be just about 2, 4, 7 games left after this final match on our triple header.
LaSalle has UST today, UP and Adamson looking forward, and UST has LaSalle today and National University as their last assignment. As Paraiso goes up against his former team, which also means Alden Ayo goes up against a team that he gave a championship to in his first year in the UAAP, as Joaquin Manuel with a defensive stop and his eye-to-eye against CJ Cancino here in the first quarter.
Malonzo will be having that unenviable task of trying to shadow Chabio. No Brandon Bates to start this contest for LaSalle.
Right, and there is word that he's recovering from sickness. So he's in uniform though, and he was warming up, but we'll see what happens. As a offensive rebound goes to UST. This is another department that killed NU, yung offensive rebounds na yan. Kataon, Coach Ronnie.
Totoo yan. Against the
us going here in game number 3. What a flex! Kakaibang move.
They need more energy coming from Karakot and Benesio. More production from the backcourt. And once again, not just the high-flying ways, but the consistent ways of Jamie Malonzo.
We gotta see that again.
Only 10 assists for LaSalle in that last loss versus FEU.
Karagot goes all the way up to Jamie, who throws it down, caught on our McDonald's instant replay. I told you there was a certain calmness to this game, which is kind of scary. Sometimes these calmness is like the calm before the storm. And we know that it is possible because, again, of the significance and the relevance of this game for both teams.
For two different reasons, of course.
Yes.
UST is trying to get to 9 wins. They're 8th in case they get past LaSalle. While for LaSalle, the drive is on to win all their 3 remaining matches and get their 6th win today.
2-0 pa rin. Sablay yung dalawang free throws ni Ira Batalier. Here comes Balti. Banging bodies, making space, missing on the lefty. Subido comes away with it. Cancino running to the right. Thought about the 3, then drives and high off the glass, and Chabio returns the favor. Jollibee, 100% the amazing move of the quarter.
Essential to contain your matchup or else it frees up Chabio for those weak side cleanups. First basket for Chabio.
Melesio gets it to go in the face of Renzo Subido.
4 points versus UE, 7 points versus FU. That will not be enough. 11 points in 2 matches for 1 of 5. Players for LaSalle in double figures. They need the A game of Melesio. They need his leadership. They badly need his marksmanship from the outside.
Paraiso goes to his left against Karagut. Paraiso fades away. Doesn't get the roll. High up for the rebound was Balti. Oh, this is a wonderful matchup between Melesio and Subido. Melesio stops on a dime, comes up short. And the tap goes back to the white and green. Manuel for 3. Got it. And a hot start for LaSalle. Vivo V17 shoot beyond limits.
They had their best offensive outburst in that first round win versus UST. Good start here for LaSalle, up 6. Biggest cushion versus the Growling Tigers.
A drive by CJ Cancino to cut the lead down to 4 with a minute gone by here in our first quarter. Balti not waiting for the defense to set. Again, makes space for himself. Alonso gets the offensive rebound. Oh, tough angle by Aljon Melesio from deep in the corner.
Very good sign for the Archers. Melesio is finding his scoring groove early. Melesio only had 7 points in that loss to FAU, while Melesio exploded for 26 in that first round win versus UST.
Subido. Cancino for 3. No. And a foul there by Manuel, who pushed away CJ Cancino when the ball was supposed to go to LaSalle already. First, let's look at this tough one. In the face of Renzo Subido. Joaquin Manuel, his 9th triple of the season. He's actually shooting over 50% from that area. And look at this long 2, out of position, out of footwork. Has that upper body strength to just jack it up. All that for 8 perimeter points for LaSalle so far. 8 of the 10 points here in the first quarter from deep. Cancino drives. Cancino finishes. And a Mitsubishi Mirage G4 drive of the game.
It was a blow-by Cancino as Manuel elected to defend the 3-point line, but did not contain the penetration of Cancino.
That's a travel? Yes, they're going to call a travel before the shot. Ira Batalier battling down against Balti Baltazar.
Nice, just single coverage by Batalier on Baltazar. This was the early penetration coming from Cancino. Going to his strong side, Chabio locating Cancino. Good close-out counter. 2 out of 3 so far is Cancino here in the first.
Subido gets the screen. Subido spins and then fades away. Like we said, this is a matchup we're looking forward to. Melesio and Subido, 2 very high-scoring guards from the same school in high school.
Only 4 points for Subido in their first round encounter. Subido in their last win versus NU. A total of 14 points in 16 minutes.
Joaquin Manuel called for his second personal foul, Coach Ronnie.
Oh, that's a concern.
This one on an offensive foul,
Right.
as you see Subido fading away on that one.
That's a difficult half turn coming from Subido.
Bates will come in here for Joaquin Manuel.
Pareho ng pedigree, no? Pareho ng mga mentors. At halos pareho ng style maglaro.
Parehong high school at pareho silang high-scoring guards
Yes.
in high school. As we said, Brandon Mates in the ball game for the first time. DLSU with 2 giveaways already, both on fouls.
Right.
Check that. One on offensive
foul.
one a traveling infraction.
Correct. I believe the one thing that Melesio has over Subido is that he has won a UAAP title. Of course, under Coach Aldin Ayo.
Batalier. CJ against Malonzo. Back to Subido against Karakut with 10 to shoot. Chabio. CJ Cancino gets the step on Malonzo but doesn't get the shot. And guess what? A repossession again by UST. Courtesy of Chabio, a Yamaha Mio #1 move. And our first, check that, second deadlock of the game, Coach Ronnie.
6 straight points coming from UST. Same type of play that by Chabio earlier in his first basket. Gotta keep a body on him and disallow him from getting second chance looks.
Malonzo past the Gatorade hydration checkpoint with a big money ball 3 to break that second deadlock, 13-10. We are back inside the Araneta Coliseum. DLSU with a 3-point lead on 3 triples so far. They have not missed from that area.
Right.
Manuel, Malonzo, and Melesio.
After being outshot by FEU all match long in their last loss, Lasala's work on his outside sniping, and it's showing here in the first.
These are the 2 best perimeter teams in the league, correct? Coach
Correct.
Ronnie, right?
Correct.
And the 2 best assisting teams in the league also.
Right. That's why they're among the league's best. We talk about offense. UST just staying close to LaSalle, who were up by 6 earlier at 10-4.
That is a tough shot by Malonzo. Chabio tracks down the rebound. The speedster Nonoy shoots it to the other side to Paraiso for 3, who comes up short. Karakut, forward pass to Malonzo. Malonzo will be fouled by CJ Cancino.
You can see the versatility of Malonzo earlier. He played the 4 spot and tried to guard Chabio. Now in the 3 position, that leaves him open for wing attacks. Pretty much the way CJ Cancino does for the Growling Tigers.
Look at him brace himself for impact. Talking about CJ. Siya na yung foul. Siya pa ang nasaktan dahil
tama ka
sa
pa.
swing. Tama pa. Sherwin Concepcion, the sniper, comes in now. Zach Wang will also get ready in the next dead ball. No, they'll allow it here. CJ Cancino will go to the bench. Still no Renz Abando so far. Guao comes in also for Coach Aldin Ayo. double team.
Open.
Which means Karakot was free. And Huang with the rebound. Nonoy, advance pass. Wow, will shoot the three. Gets it to go!
That's why it's so hard to defend UST. Most of these players have that early trigger and the marksmanship. And this is a very good scoring run. 11-3 counter run for UST after they were down at 10-4.
That's a foul on the Balti drive. We're seeing plays inside and plays outside here consistently for both teams, Coach Ronnie.
And Lasal is also trying to establish the inside game of Baltasar. Inside, outside, because they've shot well from the 3 ball.
Duguan?
Ngayon may tama, ngayon naman may dugo. Anytime you want to get into the Final Four, there's no easy route to get to that spot. How many teams have already been eliminated? Only 5 teams are in the running. Ateneo has the chance to get straight to the finals with 2 more wins that they aim to get in the next 2 of 3 play dates.
A little bit of a lull here as they're trying to get also Tyrus Hill and Lohera into the ball game, pero wala muna. Free throws and a miss.
Ano kailangan mong ilabas kasi? Oo, that's protocol.
Correct. Neo Guao, who knocked down the 3 earlier.
Anyway, his 3-point conversion will give the first taste of the lead for UST.
Ren Sabando, you hear the applause now. The folk hero from the UST side comes in, checks in.
The super sub.
For Wow, who knocked down the 3, as Coach Ronnie mentioned, giving them a lead 15-14. 3:40 to play here in the first.
The band was really electrified, the community of UST this season. Sama mo pa si Mark Nonoy dyan. Mga first-year players na kakaiba.
Ano ka mo? Coach Ronnie, ano ka mo? A Men Life Vision player of the game. He landed on one Gomez de Leaño's ankle in that UP match, but he recovered and is back into his speedster ways. Melesha from way out trying to answer no. Zach Wang, who does the little things for Coach Alden Ayo.
A lot of little things, aside from scoring as well. 14-3 run right now for UST. And their quickness has been giving some problems for the Archers in trying to locate the shooters who have knocked down back-to-back triples. Talking about the Growling Tigers.
May sakit ba, kamo? Ito si Mark Nonoy.
Yung iba, pag may sakit, diretso sa bahay. Ito si Mark Nonoy, diretso sa laro. Oo. Ang bihira.
Ganyan pala ang galaw na may sakit, ano? Ang bilis pa rin. Ang bilis pa rin.
Russell Westbrook of Iloilo.
Wang for 3. Off to the left. Encho Serrano now in the ball game. Jordan Bartlett barges through. Is blocked and fouled, I believe, by Ando. Grabe takbuhan dito. 18-14. We knew it was going to be fireworks today.
Right. Kinakailangan din ng Lasal talaga to be able to try and keep in step in the running game of UST. UST will not deviate from the pace that they want to impose on the Archers. It's incumbent of the Archers to likewise do the same. They control the rebounding glass well. Therefore, that would allow their wing attackers to get into the fast break lanes to try and get easy points, because it puts too much pressure on your half-court offense if you don't get easy baskets and locate those transition lanes.
Yung dalawang kapitan ng magkabilang koponan ay nakaupo muna sa bench as Bates is back in with Hill, Bartlett, and Encho Serrano and Lohera for the LaSalle quintet.
And those 2 free throws stops a 6-0 run generated by UST on back-to-back triples.
Renz stripped by Encho Serrano, piling up the bodies. Bates getting the loose ball.
Oh,
Giving it back to Serrano. Bartlett. 15 on their 24 with 2:20 remaining here in the first quarter. There's a foul away from play. It will be called on Ando, if
I
I'm
thought
not mistaken.
that was a defensive breakdown. They doubled on Serrano, and that will be the third. That will be a cause for concern in terms of frontline rotation for Coach Ayo. No one rotated to Bates, who tried to slip after that show on that ball skin offense by the Archers.
Check that, Coach Ronnie.
Pangalawa?
Si Nonoy pala ang tinawagan doon sa play na yon.
Dalawa na si Ando, no? Pang-isa para kay Nonoy.
Bartlett underneath. Serrano, who's very comfortable there, just came up short. Oh, what a move by Bates. Surprising himself and everybody else.
The rebounding machine once again. Moving himself so close to the basket. First 2 points for Bates in this contest.
Nonoy jacks up another three. Line drive is short. And look at Wang again. Was a bang and the bucket, working hard for a repossession. And his hard work pays off. Look at how he got the ball here. First, ito muna yung kay Bates. Sinawsaw pa yung bola. Nasapal na ni Nonoy, but he gets it up and in. And then Zach Wang, look at the hard work that he just gets Lohera out of position and then gets it up to crawl in. And right now, we are 20-17 in the first quarter. We have this timeout. (20-17) is our score. Jermaine Beard. BDO coaches winning ways. LaSalle 3-4 in the first round, 2-2 in the second round so far, with Coach JP at the helm.
Alam mo kung saan nasaktan ng LaSalle? Dun sa talo sa UE. And that could haunt them.
I think there were two in my book that was very big in that. UE was big, obviously.
UP game also.
Tapos yung kay Malonzo, inupo nila yun, ano? And then yung UP game where they led more than 38 minutes in that game, Coach Ronnie. I think.
And they had the basketball before Juan Gomez de Leaño was able to get that steal and score a 3-ball in the end.
On Tyrus Hill with an acrobatic and athletic move to cut the lead down. So the official score, check that, is 21-19, not 20-17 kanina. It's 21-19.
You're correct. Good recovery here for the Archers after the UST threatened to build a huge separation between them and the Archers.
Abando. Will be called for a foul. Si Enzo Serrano, the LaSalle side, is claiming that Abando pushed. Serrano smiling sarcastically, but the call will stick here.
Abando has a huge advantage in terms of size and length. But Serrano may probably be quicker than Abando. But Abando will give up, or rather Serrano will give up a shooting foul in this last sequence.
Nahuli yung kaliwang kamay ni Enzo, pero yung kiniklaim na LaSalle, yung kanang forearm ni Renz Abando, di nahuli.
Albert Bordeos for Mark Nonoy.
Now more shock troopers coming in. Bert Bordeos will come in for Coach Alden Ayo.
The third guard in his rotation. Of course, you have Subido and then Nonoy and then Bordeos.
Had a nice bounce back game in that NU game. really struggled in the first half after all the talk, and then he was benched against UP. Struggled in the first half where all that attention
Bando?
was still
Right,
talking about him. But what Coach Alden Ayo did was he started him in the second half, starting 5, at dun parang binigyan sa
Scored 7
kaagad.
points in the third.
Kaagad, oo.
And that led to that third quarter lead para dito sa UST against NU's charge.
Parang bumalik yung kumpiyansa, Coach
Oo.
Ronnie, nung pinuntahan siya
Oo
ng
naman.
pinuntahan.
At least makakalimutan mo yung mga ugong-ugong and you can focus on what you love doing, which is playing.
And this guy loves shooting. Sherwin Concepcion, are they going to count that? Yes,
Sherwin
they are.
Concepcion,
Plus, there's a foul away from the play. Like we said, Sherwin Concepcion loves to shoot. He is a 35% shooter. Here's the handoff. The foul was on Hill
That's a
against
bump.
Abando.
But the whistle was simultaneous.
Correct. Kaya nila kinount.
And they will review that.
Okay.
Concepcion was instrumental for UST in that win versus UP last time around on plays such as those. Transition threes. Imagine the small forward handing it over to the big man for a 3-ball.
Parang stretch na stretch yung laro niya talaga.
Hindi lahat naman may kakayahan na ganyan.
And ang ganda ng form, Coach Ronnie, pag tumira eh.
Saka consistent.
Yep.
Hindi naman tapat-tapat eh.
And he is a volume shooter. He shoots a lot of those. He has the license to shoot. So now the referees are now assessing this call and seeing. We'll wait for the official decision. Again, it is Mike Tolentino, Jaime Rivano, and Toti Celeste. Sila po ang pumipito dito sa ating third game of our Wednesday doubleheader. We're also greeting everybody watching on the #1 sports website of the Philippines, sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/UAAP.
Holding foul on
So,
number 23, Tyrus Hill.
Mukhang hindi
Penalty.
counted.
That's his first foul.
we're gonna give free throws to Abando.
Also because Lasalle's in penalty.
Oh, so they did not count the 3 of Sherwin.
Kasi nauna yung hawak talaga.
Abando will try to get on the board here. Actually, he was earlier. This is already his second point.
This is the only chink in the armor for Abando. He's a 54% free throw shooter, 13 of 24 heading to this game.
Good enough for a 5-point lead. That is the biggest lead for UST. Para sa Lasal, Coach Ronnie, 6 ang pinakamalaking abante.
Tama, 10-4 kanina.
Kanina. 8-2 and 10-4. Serrano splits the double. Lojera for the lefty 3. Overshoots. And Sherwin Concepcion inhales that rebound.
Pwede.
Burdeos gave up the dribble. Concepcion against Hill. Abando against Lojera. Underneath, they go to Zach Wang, who's very comfortable, also working underneath. Kicks it out to Burdeos. Burdeos for 3. No. And again, and look at Zach Wang who fight for it, but it ends up with Hill. Serrano on the run. Draws the foul here. That is the specialty of the house for Encho Serrano. He loves the contact. He loves the open court. And he knows how to get those calls.
That was 1 against 4
Number 21, Albert Bordeos, penalty.
for Serrano, but no
That's
problem.
his first foul.
Shot clock winding down here in the first quarter. That was a fine defensive
Free throws for
stop
Encho Serrano.
against the post offense of Zach Wang. And then the recovery by Lojera for an early push for Serrano.
So it stays at 24-19. Free throws have also been a problem for LaSalle this season, especially in that first round.
Serrano is only at 48% at 14 of 29.
Sablay yung dalawa, Coach
And that
Ronnie.
14 of 31 for the Archers, who are only a 54% shooting team, dead last this season so far.
Wang has to shoot it. Good line for him, but a bit strong.
end of the
But
first
good enough for a
quarter,
5-point
it's
lead
24 to
for the
19
UST
in favor
Growling
of the
Tigers
UST
here in
Growling
game number 3
Tigers.
of your Wednesday Triple Dip. 24-19 is our first quarter count in favor of UST, their biggest lead of the game. Boom Gonzalez, Coach Ronnie Magsanop.
Ladies and gentlemen,
For
it's the start
ABS-CBN
of the
Sports,
second
Coach Ronnie, your
quarter.
impressions of that first quarter?
Well, I thought that LaSalle had a blistering start simply because they were at 57% early on. Had 3 triples, but they had problems containing Chapiol's second chance looks, and they were also not able to take away those early 3-point triggers coming from UST. And as a result, after a 10-4 start, they will be down after a 29 closeout of the quarter. Enabled UST to build a 5-point lead heading to the second quarter.
Chabio will be called for his first
Forcing
personal foul
number
here as he
23, Solomon
blocks
Chabio.
Joaquin Manuel
That's
up
his
top,
first
but
foul.
gets
One
the
on
body
Golden Tigers.
on this pump fake.
That's a good ball tip coming from, was that Bates?
2 shots for Joaquin Manuel.
I believe so. It's Baltazar, Bates, and Manuel up front. Karakot and Melesio as the free throw woes
Wow.
continue for UST.
That will be LaSalle, 2 out of 7
Sorry,
so
for
far.
LaSalle, yes.
I mentioned earlier that LaSalle is only a 54% shooting team from the free throw line. 96 of 177 heading to this match. Manuel is only the 7th and 8th free throws for Joaquin Manuel this year, and he will miss both as well. So LaSalle will now be 2 out of 8. That's just 25%.
Lane violation, substitute free
Also,
throw
Coach,
for Joaquin Manuel.
UST only 1 turnover in that first quarter.
Right. While LaSalle committed 2.
Not so bad.
Oh, what really fueled UST's turnaround was 14 points off the bench.
Offensive rebound for LaSalle here. Balti will try the 3 off the front, back rim rather. Another missed free throw by Manuel. That's 2 in a row for him. Melesio. And a show by Chabio. Karakot with a ball fake. Balti will try again.
Wow.
Still no go for LaSalle and for Balti from 3.
And as much as we saw LaSalle get multiple possessions there, they've given up a total of 7 points or 9 points to UST in terms of second chance scoring, as UST already with 8 offensive rebounds. Yung nakita natin na huling mga pulot ng LaSalle, yun lang yung una nilang dalawa after yung 3 straight possessions nila early in the first. So one thing that UST has done is to out-hustle LaSalle in terms of getting multiple possessions. And that's why after the first 10 minutes, they were 7 possessions ahead of the Archers.
Wang was called for a foul, bumping Joaquin Manuel after the Borteo shot. So, a minute gone by here in the second quarter, and it's still a 5-point lead.
Oh, nice
As
play.
Malonzo draws the foul there.
And there's one thing good going for LaSalle here in the first half so far. But the 7 made field goals, they already have 7 extra passes. Every conversion has come from an assist,
Which is their
from
game.
an Archer, which we did not see against FEU.
Correct. Yun yung talagang nawala. Kaya nga sabi ni Andre Karakot, di ba,
Nagkanya-kanya.
through Ayana Perlas, of course, that, you know, they were looking for their individual
Right.
numbers.
Well, it also was a testament to the kind of defensive blanket that FEU threw at them for the second consecutive time, limiting them to 55 points in their first round encounter, and again only 60 in their last loss. And LaSalle is almost 80 points per contest. Imagine that kind of effort coming from FEU.
1 out of 2 from that trip for LaSalle, who continue to struggle from the free throw line. Chabio hands over, and then it's back to Subito's hands with 10 on their 24. Chabio will try a 3. No, not that time. Baltazar high up for the rebound.
They'd rather have Chabio take outside shots away from the basket rather than hurt their inside defense.
Missed by Karakot, the rebound by Subito. On the other side, Abando for 3. Malakas. And the tap goes to Joaquin Manuel. Melesio is held down. Ang bilis.
Eh, kasi tinrabaho ni Joaquin Manuel yung defensive rebound. That was a hold from this point on.
Wala na magagawa. Ito si Bataliel. (24-20), so free throws again And they're gonna review this because I think they're gonna look whether they're gonna upgrade this Coach Ronnie to an unsportsmanlike.
I-reviewin muna nila. Manuel had 3 points in 4 minutes. First quarter for the Archers.
It is, according to Jaime Rivano.
Unsportsmanlike foul.
So that's 2 free throws, ball possession. Batalier will be called for that one. Alden Ayo on your screen says not won against LaSalle since he left LaSalle, Coach Ronnie. I'm still looking for his...
2 years ago.
Yeah, right. Last year siya, di ba?
But I think more than the trivia is the importance of getting their 8th win and keeping in step with UP. Then, alam ko ang target talaga nila ay makasyam.
Yep, of course.
Pareho sila ng Maroons na makasyam.
Be behind Ateneo.
Right there in the second spot. Nowhere else. Adamson has already been booted out. UE and NU will not make it. FEU is the hottest team right now, just after the unbeaten Ateneo Blue Eagles. Tremendous second round performance for the Tamaraws with 1 game to play and at 7-6.
And a tremendous second round by Gonzalez and Alforque. Those two have spearheaded, shooting of Tuffin, have spearheaded that FEU monster. Balti from around 17. Line drives that one, comes up short. Repossession by DLSU rather, as Malonzo knocks down a 3 at the 8-minute mark of our first half. A PS Bankable assist of the game to Malonzo. Parang PS Bank personal loan na maasahan, apply online, no collateral. And that is our 3rd deadlock of the game.
LaSalle has kept UST scoreless in the second quarter. And they have tied the count on a 5-0 run to open up the second on another 3-point basket for the Archers. That will be 3-point basket number 4. 12 of their first 24 points coming from beyond the arc.
Subido called for the offensive foul. Let's look at that again. Ayun. A shoulder bump on Melesio. Getting to be very physical this matchup between these two.
As expected.
As we knew, as we expected, as we called it. CJ Cancino now in the ball game. Coming back. So it is Cancino, Abando, Subido, Chabio, and Ira Batelier. Malonzo, Caracot, Melesio, Manuel, and Balti Baltazar para naman sa LaSalle. Knotted at 24. Biggest lead was 6 for DLSU, 5 for UST. Play resumes finally here. Subido on Melesio. Melesio sticking, or Subido sticking to Melesio like glue. Baltazar has been trying that move on Batelier since the start of the game and he just could not finish the play.
Batelier once again disallowing Baltazar from going deeper and closer to the basket.
Batelier maintaining the dribble. And a tap by Malonzo. Malonzo will sky against Abando and Abando will foul him. Blankets him but gets the body. That was something that we were looking forward to. An aerial battle between Malonzo and Abando here in our McDonald's Instant Replay.
Two of the top first-year players having some airtime.
Sayang, we're not going to see more of that also in the UAAP.
One thing going for LaSalle is that even if Baltazar has been kept to only 1 point, the perimeter players have been able to at least produce.
Yes.
And Malonzo has been excellent here with 9 points so far, but it's free throw shooting that's hurting the Archers.
It's a case of good news, bad news. Good news is LaSalle is getting to the line so many times. The bad news is they have not been converting, Coach Ronnie.
Only 54% as a team. And as we mentioned, the chink in the armor of Jamie Malonzo rather. Second leading scorer for the Archers, who splits his free throws, 6-0 run in the first 2 minutes and 48 seconds of the second quarter. Oh, someone is down.
Is that Caracot? Batalier is being approached by Manuel. As Caracot goes down, we didn't see, I just saw him go down. I didn't see anything. Manuel is still stalking Batalier here. By the way, DLSU retakes the lead here, 25-24.
Substitution for the
Caraco
Green Archers.
will now be
Encho
replaced
Serrano for
by Coach
Andre Caraco.
Jermaine Beard with Encho Serrano. The referees couldn't call anything because they didn't see anything also. Coach, did you see anything or did you just see the fall?
I just saw Caraco already on the floor.
Oo nga eh. Play resumes. Batalier here. The cutting Chabio. Chabio floats in the air. Doesn't get that to roll. And a foul on Malonzo, I believe.
On his attempted blackout. It was a nice
Foul on
mapped out
number
play
11,
coming from
DLSU.
UST.
That's his first foul.
From the weak side,
on the
Chabio
Green
will get that
Archers.
pass.
I like that
14
shot of
seconds to
Chabio. He's
shoot.
been very effective with that
Tutukan.
floater. Oh, tsaka ang tagal niya sa ere, Coach. Cancino misses for three. Chabio with a repossession. Cancino will try from the other side. Not that time, but Batalier for third servings for UST. Jollibee 100% the amazing move of the quarter and the third lead change of the game.
In double figures in terms of offensive rebounds, multiple chances to score, and UST will get their first 2 points of the quarter.
Ayun na naman yung galaw ni Baltasar pero hindi niya talaga makuha. As Chabio comes away with his 7th rebound of the game.
Baltazar is now 0 out of 4. One free throw contributed by the leading scorer of the Archers. 25 and 25 performance versus UE. And 16 points and 9 rebounds in that loss to FEU for last year's member of the mythical team,
Getting a
Justin
little
Baltazar.
testy here, Coach Ronnie. That's another offensive foul. Paraiso called for that one.
As expected.
As expected. Sabi sa'yo yung calmness na yun sa ating warm-up kanina eh.
Tapos na yun.
Oh, Malonzo will be denied of a highlight there because of an offensive foul on Bates. That is his second
foul
on the game.
Green Archers.
And for the Archers, they have to keep their heads on the game.
Dami nating offensive foul
Head
dito.
on the game, rather.
Yun, oo. Sayang
Kasi magandang second quarter nila.
Paraiso. Cancino, almost a steal by Malonzo. Cancino stops for three, off to the left. It's a wild shot by CJ. Encho Serrano puts on the brakes, goes to Malonzo. Malonzo back to Manuel. Again, Serrano likes to operate underneath, but Manuel says, I'll shoot the three. It comes up short. Cancino, Subido, flyby. Subido is fouled and will take 3 free throws.
That was not a good sequence for Joaquin Manuel. Earlier, a forced triple. And then a third personal foul while giving up a shooting foul which will result into 3 free throws.
Pagsakan ng field goals natin dito, 1 of 9 ang DLSU, 1 of 8 ang UST. Is that a product of defense? Is it sloppy play?
Defense.
It is.
Masipag ang mga closeouts. Unlike in the first quarter when both teams combined for 5 triples. De La Salle had 9 points from beyond the arc. UST had 2 conversions from rainbow territory.
$27-25 is our score. 3 turnovers in the second quarter by UST. They only had 1 in that first quarter earlier, as we mentioned. Karakot gets into their attack zone. Subido and Melesio continue to wrestle against each other. Karakot gets the step, stops on a dime, puts it up and in.
Andre Caraco.
Pure gold, always panalo move, and another foul on the floor. This one on a La Salle player.
Caraco has only scored 8 points in the last 2 games for the Archers. 2 points versus UE, 6 points versus FEU. That basket was his first in this match. Tying the count at 27 all. Caraco is one of 4 players for La Salle, averaging in double figures in his production.
Sorry, Coach. Melesio just called for a second personal on that dead ball earlier. We get to the Gatorade hydration checkpoint as Chabio stretches to the rack. Karakot nagmamadali. Sapal! Mula kay CJ Cancino. Paraiso. Downstairs to Chavio. Outside to Cancino. 29-27 is our score. Cancino drives. Puts it off the glass and gets it up and in. And Cancino, for his 6th point, gives them a 4-point lead, 31-27. You're watching the UAAP Season 82, game number 48 between UST and DLSU. UST protecting a 4-point lead, 4:38 remaining in the first half. In a slower and a much more physical second quarter. Fujibar, Obar, Sasaya.
That's why both teams are over the limit quite early here in the second quarter. Good recovery here in the second quarter for UST after Lasala, the 5-0 run to open up this second period.
Malonzo fading away on that one. That's a tough angle. The tap goes back to Bates. It's back with Lasal with 10 to shoot. Karakot off to the right. Bates for the offensive rebound. Out muscling Chabio in that sequence.
Fearless. Bates using his height and might. It was scoreless, I believe, in their first round encounter. Only 2 points in their last loss.
Cancino, 9 points in the game and his first triple for a 5-point lead restored by UST.
Everything was inside prior to the triple from Cancino.
Melesio off the glass. No! Here comes Subido. Sets up Cancino. Naiwanan si Batalyer. Batalyer gets the step and finishes with the left hand, but will be denied of an offensive foul warding off Enzo Serrano.
One of the hardest things to defend in transition is the trail post look. You close out, there's a close out counter. Good thing there was that last line defender in Serrano.
Ang mataas din tumalon.
Oo, na nangilang kahit paano. Itong si Batalyer.
We have a timeout. We'll be back. You're watching the UAAP also on TFC.tv and on iWant and on sports.abs-cbn.com/livestream/UAAP. Thanks for streaming. Game number 48. And speaking of, for our fans abroad, you may watch the UAAP 82 on TFC Online, available for premium subscribers, or you can purchase the UAAP 82 Men's Basketball Season Pass for only $2.99. These are the numbers for the captain of the UST Growling Tigers. Melesio backs out, naiwan dun sa gilid. Si Encho Serrano, inakyat yung bola, pero bumalik kay Encho. Melesio from up top. No! And the tap going to CJ Cancino, saving it to Chabio.
That was a defensive stop after a timeout was called by the Archers. And UST is in the midst of a 10-5 outburst here in the second quarter.
It's a foul by Karakot on the driving Ira Patalier.
Once again, for the second straight quarter, LaSalle will open up strongly. In the first quarter, I believe they were up 8-2. Here in the second quarter, scored the first 5 points.
Patalier will shoot free throws. UST is 5 out of 10 from the line. DLSU 5 of 14 so far in this match. 9 missed attempts already.
The sophomore skipper, Cancino, 4 points in the first quarter, 5 here in the second quarter, to lead his team with a total of 9 of the first 35 points for the Growling Tigers.
And you see it in his face, Coach Ronnie, after those 2 games. Actually, after that
Kita mo
UP
sa
game.
mata na eh, no?
After the UP game, you saw it already.
Nakuha na niya.
Oh, against NU, nakita mo na eh. Chabio on the second jump gets that rebound.
And still no field goal for Baltazar
Oh nga, no?
here in the half.
Naiwanan si Subido, but Chabio says, it's smackdown time! Attacks the rim with bad intentions. A master play of the game.
This was my concern for LaSalle heading into this match. Yung pinaka hindi maayos na pinamalas ni Baltazar throughout the season was also in that first round matchup versus UST.
Let's look at this again. Double team, sees the opening, goes high up, comes crashing down with a rim wrapper.
Baltazar losing his defensive assignment. Baltazar only 4 points and 4 rebounds, 2 out of 8 field goals, no free throws, no blocks in 21 minutes in that first round win by LaSalle, in a match that saw Serrano explode for 29 points and Melesio likewise joining the scoring party with 26.
LaSalle has missed 10 free throws
for the Green Archers,
so far.
Jordan Bartlett coming in for Encho Serrano.
As Jordan Bartlett's back in the game, Tyrus Hill, these are for defensive purposes. In the final 2:30 of this first half. Paraiso, Cancino, and Subido with Batalier and Chabio. And real time right now, it is a 7-1 run by UST to give them their biggest lead of the game at 38-30. Subido, hesitation move, goes to the other side, a little bit strong. Malonzo asking for it here on this side. Nonoy getting ready to check back in for UST. Melesio. Baltazar underneath, clobbered, blanketed, and Cancino with a takeaway. Chabio with a foot race against Malonzo. They will go back to DLSU.
Substitutions for the Growling Tigers, Mark Honor, Sherwin Concepcion, and Red Sabando coming in.
Malonzo aggressive on offense, chase down on defense. But earlier, once again, we saw a glimpse on how UST has defended Baltazar really well here in the first 2 quarters. Baltazar got deep, but 3 players right away swarmed on Baltazar.
Nagdilim yung paningin eh.
Saka talagang kuyog, di ba? Harap, likod, gilid.
Bartlett blitzed. Baltazar way out. Malonzo with 10 to shoot. Back to Baltazar. Nakalibre na saglit, but the recovery by Chavio, and Baltazar finally sweeps his way for his first field goal of the game. 3 points so far.
13 in the quarter para dito sa team ng LaSalle as UST tried to build its first double-digit lead prior to that 2-point conversion from Justin Baltazar.
Abando against Malonzo. Back to Nonoy with 8 on their 24. Abando pops out, thought about the 3. Malonzo was there to contest, but Abando shoots anyway, and he gets it to go. Renz Abando, Vivo V17 shoot beyond limits.
When he squares up, you have to force him to put the basketball down and dribble. A very good catch and shoot player. 6 for Abando off the bench. 9-point lead UST.
Melesio trying to answer back, no, and a nice tip there by Tyrus Hill, who went way up for that one to cut the lead down to 7. 4 points for him.
LaSalle's bench were outscored big time by FEU in their last loss. Too much time in the backcourt.
Miscue, coach. An unforced turnover there. Here's that Baltazar. Sweep. And here's the set shot by Abando, who shoots 30% from that area.
His hand was down.
Yeah.
And as Mark Jackson would love to say, hand down, man down.
Tyrus Hill with a follow-up on that one with 8 seconds now as play resumes. Baltazar again having a tough time, but on the follow-up on the other side, Jamie Malonzo cuts this lead down to 5.
Earlier it was Hill, now it's Malonzo, and Malonzo has reached his scoring average at 13 points in the first 2 quarters. Malonzo had 5 points in the first 10 minutes, 8 here in the second quarter. That will be 8 of the 17 points of the Archers in the second quarter. Second chance scoring coming into play for LaSalle the last 2 plays.
Tabla tayo sa 11, Coach Ronnie, pagdating sa offensive rebounds. Both teams with 11. And Malonzo knocks down the free throw to cut the lead down to 4. It is a 41-37 count for UST. 26 seconds remaining here in what has been an exciting first half between these two teams. Chabio, 17 minutes, working hard as usual. 8 points, 10 rebounds, only 2 misses from the field, and as always, no histrionics, no nothing from Chabio.
Just plain efficiency.
Nonoy, a difference of 3 seconds between clocks. Mark goes to his right, then comes back to his left to set up Paraiso for 3, who gets it to go! What a play by Coach Alden Ayo off the timeout. With 26 seconds remaining, he calls that one as the lead goes back to 7, 44-37. And before that, Paraiso was 0 of 4 from the field. halftime here at the Araneta Coliseum. Teams go back to the locker rooms, reassess whatever happened in the first 2 quarters. So, our focus will be on the fans. Specifically, the PS Bankable fan of the game. Deposit checks in a snap with PS Bank Mobile. Download now. Hey, if you're a fan of the UAAP, you can get 10% off on select UAAP merchandise items today. All you have to do is visit uaapstore.com now and flex your school spirit. 44-37 is our score, mga kapamilya. Commute warrior ka ba sa ABS-CBN TV Plus Go? Masusurvive mo na ang stress ng araw-araw na traffic, haba ng pila, at hassle ng commute. Catch the UAP live as it airs. 44-37 is our score at the half between UST and DLSU. UST with the lead at 7. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. For LaSalle, it was an early 6-point lead. Let's start with the first quarter. Coach Ronnie, what did you see? Because LaSalle started off really well in this game.
LaSalle was very hot from the outside early on, about 60% of their scoring because of their high field goal clip. Melesio had 5 first quarter points. Alonso was also humming. And even if Baltasar was not scoring, there were a lot of archers who were able to get to their scoring group early on. And they were up 8-2 to open up the first few minutes.
And what changed as we go on and see some of the highlights here? What changed for UST? How were they able to get into this game and eventually build a bigger lead?
Well, pace was one problem of LaSalle's defense, and the second unit scoring was heavy for UST. They had 10 players already accounting for 1 basket at least for the Tigers, at hindi nakasabay yung second unit ng De La Salle dun sa explosion na yon coming from players off the bench ng UST.
Free throws, big problem
Masakit.
for LaSalle, or else the score would have been so different.
Well, no doubt. In the first quarter, they missed a total, I believe, of 4 free throws. They were 2 out of 6, and right now they're only 7 of 17. His 10 free throws, down by 7, could easily have been up earlier and put more pressure on UST. Instead, they would rely on inside scoring to be able to be down by just a 3-possession deficit, and they have to take away plays such as those coming from Chabio. Dahil itong si Chabio talagang sinasaktan ang inside defense ng De La Salle.
We're not also devoid of some great individual play from
yes.
Chabio, Renza Bando, of course Melesio, Suplido, Cancino, and all of that for a 44-37 count. Here are the numbers.
Right. This was the second unit performance for UST. They're +8 in that category versus the Archers. Second chance scoring, halos pareho ng offensive rebounds, but the Archers, especially in the second period, wherein sa 18 points na ginawa nila, 10 dyan galing sa second chance, that kept them alive, that kept them afloat amidst this UST explosion in the second. UST once again choking LaSalle's field goal clip, and a picture of that is the 1 of 11 performance coming from De La Salle's leading scorer, Justin Baltazar, at 1 out of 11 after the first 2 quarters.
Leading scorers, Malonzo with 14, Cancino again, who started the ball game with 9. Another great first half for the 3rd straight game by the current player of the week, the latest player of the week in CJ Cancino. Again, Boom Gonzalez together with Coach Roddy Magsanok. Here at the half, it is 44-37 for the UST Growling Tigers, looking for their 3rd straight win here in the second round. Let's check in with the LaSalle side of things. They're the ones who have to make the adjustment coming out of halftime, and Ayana Perlas will give us just that. Go ahead, Ayana.
Women Coach Ronnie, with the Archers raring to claim a spot in the Final Four, losing is no longer an option. Now finally depicting that collective team effort and fire that was missing in the last game, the Archers cannot slow down. But even with a strong first quarter, the team acknowledged and also expressed their frustration on their ball movement, free throws, and rebounds, which they plan on improving in the second half. Now what went well during the boys' first round encounter against the Growling Tigers were the team's offense and defense, which is why everyone is stepping up considering the cruciality of today's game. Some players still recovering from the flu, and UST's confidence given their 2-game winning streak. Now with all these factors, Coach Jermaine Bird reminded the team in the dugout that to just tune out the crowd, do not let their offense dictate their defense, and to just be confident in today's game. Back to you.
And again, Ayana reminding us of that first round encounter where DLSU won 92-77 against the UST Growling Tigers. Thank you very much, Ayana. Now it's time for us to get the other side of things. Even as the team is in the lead, there always are adjustments for teams in the lead. So let's bring back Michaela Chavez and give us an inside look and an inside scoop on what happened at the locker room. Michaela, go ahead.
Boom and Coach Ronnie, with the urge to finally strengthen their way to booking a Final Four slot, the whole team is determined to respond to Coach Alvin Aya's request, one of which is to courageously attack the basket as they plan to pull off mind-blowing surprises, more of their threes. Despite dominating the first 2 quarters, an excellent display of sense of urgency seemed to have been missing. Coach Alvin Aya wants the boys to stay 100% focused, mindful, and creating good shots. You know, veteran Renzo Subido even had some good words to say inside the dugout. He said no to turnovers, and let's have that good presence of mind, lalong-lalo na kapag nasa atin ang bola. When I questioned team captain CJ Cancino the main ingredients in winning today's grueling match, his answer was simple: good decision-making and that right mix of team chemistry. It is a must-win situation for the Tigers, so expect the boys to serve you a better presence on the floor as they plan to collapse the offensive rhythm of the Archers. That's all for now. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mikaela. UST, better team standing from De La Salle, but they still feel this is must-win, and Coach Ronnie has explained why, and we will continue to explain all throughout the second half of how important this game is for different reasons for both UST and DLSU. In the meantime, while we wait for the start of our third quarter, let's give you our Coho Creating Beautiful Plays segment. And here's the one that Chabio got free for this dunk. And partly, Coach Ronnie, tell me if I'm wrong, partly kaya naiwanan ito si Chabio yung threat nitong si Renzo Subido na tumira sa tres dyan sa gilid.
And that's why I said earlier it was a defensive breakdown. No one home on Subido. That forced Baltazar to turn his head, and that enabled Chabio to understand that no one was guarding either Subido or him. That's why he went for that highlight reel.
2019 SEA Games. Philippines plays host with the theme We Win as One. The opening ceremony is on November 30, Saturday. And you can expect to catch SEA Games action right here on SNA Liga, sports.abs-cbn.com, and I1 Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the start of
Seconds
the
away
third
from the start of the third
quarter.
quarter. We're happy to have you with us here on SNA and on Liga and in high definition. UST with a 44-37 lead, looking for their third straight win here in the second round. Cancino gets his own miss. Out to Batalier. Batalier making the move and will be called for a dribbling transgression as Subido was telling him to pass the ball. Subido, Batalier, Cancino, Paraiso, and Chabi Yo. Para naman sa Lasal, Melesio, Malonzo, Manuel, Karakut, and Baltazar. And these are the starting fives, no, for both teams.
LaSalle has not won a quarter so far versus UST. UST winning the first quarter by 5 and a 2-point lead in the second quarter. Be up by 7 heading to the third.
Missed by Karakut. Paraiso has one man to beat. And Paraiso floats. Doesn't get the roll. Manuel with the rebound. Malonzo looks ahead. Then issues
Dangerous
a blind
pass.
dime to Balti Baltazar.
I thought that they dodged a bullet as a foul was called.
Pushing foul on number
After that
3,
errant pass was
Paraiso.
thrown by
That's his second
Malonzo
foul,
for
one on the Golden
Baltazar.
Tigers.
Second personal on the captain of
Shot clock at
UST.
18
Look at
seconds.
Baltazar and Batalier fighting for possession.
Undersized but definitely ayun na, tinawagan na ng double foul. I think this is not just because of this sequence,
Kanina pa
Coach
yan,
Ronnie.
oo.
Parang na-warningan na sila kanina na
Kanina pa yan. Pangatlo na si Batalier.
Yun ang masakit.
Pangalawa itong si Baltazar.
And on number 19,
That's the first
Justin
lap.
Baltazar, that's his second foul.
and kung yun lang ang pagbabasihan mo, alam mo, medyo baka manipis, uy, mabilis
Kanina
yung
pa yan.
tawag.
Kanina ko pa sila
Kaya lang,
pinapanood.
Yun na nga, dahil kanina pa nangyayari, binibigyan lang natin ng konteksto,
Right.
no, for those people.
Oh, excellent
who are watching.
pass coming from Carapot. Malonzo has not been gun shy today. And he's extended his range all the way to beyond the arc. 17 for Malonzo.
14 in that first half. Subido stops on a dime. Batalier fakes, fires, and draws the, what is this, the third personal on Baltazar.
Yan ang masakit.
Justin Baltazar,
He was in foul trouble against FEU. Let's take a look at Pinky Fabis.
Uy!
2 free throws for Ira Batalier.
Tagal ko na hindi na kukita
Coach
si
Pinky Fabis,
Pinky,
of course. Played for UST before. Very heady guard in his prime. And right now, Batalier having the upper hand in the last two sequences. Oh, may pangatlo na siya. Pero, nakuha rin niya yung pangatlong personal foul ni Baltazar. And we talked about that in the second quarter. That was also the trigger to the run by UST. Nung gumante yung Lasal sa mga early hits ng Tigers laban sa kanila.
ball will stay with De La Salle with 13 to shoot. Alonso has been spectacular here in this game.
Right.
And also, from a defensive standpoint, he's been
Very
showing a lot of
aggressive.
effort. Yeah. Hindi lang yung humihingi ng bola.
And he's in control. Hindi naghahanap ng highlight reel. Talagang efficiency personified si Alonso today.
Melesio naipit. Sokarakot thought about the three. Trips. But just in time, gives it up to Balti. Subido couldn't stay with the ball. Melesio double crossover and then fades away. A spectacular shot from Aljon Melesio. A Jollibee 100% the amazing move of the quarter prior to the hang time. The double crossover. Let's look at that. Look at this. 1, 2. Oh man,
Difficult.
that's pretty.
The degree of difficulty is way up there. Mid-range conversion coming from the long-range sniper. Melesio with 6 first half points. Now has 9 on a 3-point play completed in this. I believe puts him 1 point from reaching the double figures for the first time in the last 3 games.
3 personal fouls, by the way, on Brent Paraiso. Chabio again.
The way he glides.
Ganda, no?
And even if he takes off far away from the basket, it's so hard to defend.
That's a Yamaha Mio #1 move. And that fake handoff pass, really, he sells it very well.
You cannot look the other way. You have to keep your body between him and the basket at all times.
And then he gets and snatches the rebound on the other side. Paraiso looks ahead. Finds Subido. Batalier. They call the play. Chabio asking for it. Cancino with the handoff. Cancino drives on Manuel. Cancino off the glass, no. Melesio against 3. Manuel recovers just in time. Alonso asking for it on the other side. Baltazar says, no, I got it. Baltazar asserting himself, cutting that lead to 3 with a Domino's Pizza. What a delivery play.
Now he understands that it's only single coverage when he's trying to go right. Second field goal for Baltazar, only 5 in the game so far for LaSalle's leading scorer.
Chabio, spin cycle move, comes up short. Here comes Melesio against Paraiso. Stops and pops and ties the ball game at 48. Check that, it's a long 2, courtesy of a C2 fast break of the game, so the lead is still with UST.
And that's what a defensive rebound can do for your offense. Fueling the pace. And this is the best rebounding team so far this year, although they were out-rebounded in the first 20 minutes of this match, talking about the Archers.
5 on the shot clock of UST. Subido has to manufacture a shot, no. UST with only 3 points here in the quarter. Melesio wants to add on to theirs. Oh, unable to. Free from the elbow. 6:20 to play. Paraiso, free for a 3, lines it up. Strong, and Malonzo comes away with a carom. Melesio against Paraiso, sets up Manuel. Manuel, 2+1 special, and the lead switches to De La Salle University. Manulife Vision Player of the game. It is 49-48 for DLSU. It's a 12-4 run.
Right. And Melesio has led the charge for the Archers. 5 points in the quarter for Melesio. That's 5 out of the 12-point quarter so far for De La Salle. And then you have Malonzo. While Manuel has managed to chip in a total of 5 points already after nailing a 3-pointer early in the first quarter of this match.
Batalier will move out, Coach Ronnie, sorry, with 4 personal fouls.
Yun ang problema.
The older brother and our colleague, and according to him, better looking brother, according to him yan, yung kasama ko siya nung Sunday, sabi niya, ay, hindi ako papayag.
Basta sabi niya.
Sabi mo eh. Jet Manuel, watching the game, the proceedings here, as DLSU misses another free throw, Coach Ronnie, so it stays at 49-48.
They were 7 of 17 prior to the start of the third. Missing 10 free throws, down 5 as we enter this quarter.
Abando is back in. Concepcion also ready to shoot as always, but overshoots this one. Mark Nonoy is also back in the ball game, and Paraiso and Chabio will complete the quintet for UST.
UST had 9 perimeter points in the second quarter. That's why after LaSalle started out well in the second, they were able to overtake the Archers the latter part of the first half. And of course, also helped by that last second three-pointer coming from Paraiso to close out the first half.
Chabio fakes the pass, and again that looping teardrop of a shot works for the 5th lead change of the game. 50-49 is our score after that PS Bankable assist of the game to Chabio. Parang PS Bank personal loan na maasahan, apply online, no collateral.
It's a difficult matchup for Baltazar to try and go inside.
Wow, Nonoy just too fast in that sequence. Draws the foul from Melesio. Let's look at that again. Look at the fake pass that he does here. That's enough to free him from Tyrus Hill. And again, that floater of his works so well.
Impossible to guard, and that is the third either head fake, ball fake, or look away coming from Chabio that has worked for him. Aside from his scoring, he is shooting at a very high clip. It was 4 of 6 in the first 2 quarters.
Coach, tatlo na yung foul ni Melesio dito.
Oo, at si Baltasar meron na rin tatlo pero nanatili sa loob.
In the meantime, Nonoy is 1 out of 2 from the free throw line, and a foul is called on Tyrus Hill on the push.
And that's how quick Mark Nonoy really is.
Yung
very quick with the basketball, maintindihan natin dahil may buwelo. Yun,
Stationary.
Nag-free throw na, nauna pa. Also against a super athlete na si Hill. That's not fair.
This season hasn't been fair, Coach Ronnie.
Nice to watch though.
Yeah, oh, lovely to watch. But probably the most athletic bunch in recent memory, you know, Coach Ronnie, in terms of across-the-board talent.
Yes, true.
51-49 is the score off the wild shot from UST. So Melesio stays with 3 personal fouls as we approach the Gatorade hydration checkpoint. Oh, what a nice looking hook by Baltazar, just comes up short.
Baltasar is 2 out of 15 today after 1 of 11 first 2 quarters.
A bullet pass to Paraiso from Mark Nonoy. Back to him with 14 on their 24. Double high for Mark. With a pocket pass underneath and a foul again by Tyrus Hill.
That was difficult to find, but the execution was excellent for Nonoy.
Pangatlong foul para kay Tyrus Hill, and see, McDonald's instant replay. That's a difficult pass. Which Alden Ayo looking for an unsportsmanlike. They're going to review it.
UST had a total of 7 assists on 16 made field goals in the first 2 quarters, while LaSalle, after only 10 assists versus FEU in 40 minutes, had 11 extra passes or 9 extra passes on 13 made field goals.
Discuss it here, and let's see. It is just a common foul.
Foul on number 23, Tyrus Hill.
So 2 free throws once again. This time for UST, but we have a timeout at the 4:43 mark with UST holding on to a 2-point lead. 51-49 is our score. 4:43 remaining here in the third quarter in game number 48 on day number 19 for season 82 of your men's basketball tournament. Earlier today, a couple of escape acts as UP escapes National University's late run and Adamson escapes Adamson's late run. As you look at Coach Alden Ayo and our PDO coach's winning ways, looking for a big win today. Not only that, but his first win against his former team, whom he took straight to the championship in his first year.
Remember that UST did not make it to the Final Four last year. And a lot of that was because CJ Cancino went down with an ACL injury midway in the second round. This year they have a chance to get to their 8th win, targeting 9 wins as they play out their last 2 remaining games, including this match. Malonzo continues to impress us.
19 puntos para sa kanya. What a flicks. Kakaibang move for Malonzo. Nonoy. And a steal here by LaSalle. Melesio showing some foot speed and a left-handed finish. Yellow cap, end-to-end play of the game. What, in 3 seconds, Melesio able to stretch for that lay-in.
Well, before Mark Nonoy came on board the UAP, it was Melesio who did that for Coach Alden Ayo when he was still with the De La Salle Green Archers.
And a foul by Sharon Concepcion preventing Tyrus Hill from running the break here. We got to look at this again. The steal by Melesio. And this is in slow-mo, folks. And look at that composed finish. And by the way, that is the 6th lead change of the game as Coach JB's team is up 53-52.
16-8 in the quarter in favor of the Archers. And let's see if they'll be better from the line, because this has hurt them in the first 20 minutes to either be closer to UST or the capacity to take the lead away from the Tigers heading to the last 2 quarters. Another strong start. Now let's see if UST will once again be able to close out this quarter strongly. Bates has been a factor for the Archers. 6 points, a lot of rebounds, and his inside protection as well. We talk about protecting the shaded area for the Archers.
Playing under the weather too, as his team is up 54-52. Wang is in the ball game now. Dave Ando. Abando against Malonzo. Nonoy comes out of that pick. Drives hard, and again another steal. Melesio and Malonzo. Look out! Melesio and Malonzo both wanted it so bad that they muffed the opportunity. Look at this. Oh no. Again, we get robbed.
Empty possession.
Of either a Melesio highlight or a Malonzo
But that was a correct pass coming from Serrano.
Ganda nga nung pasa eh, no? Tamang-tama eh. Abando high up for 3. Comes up short.
Bates again.
High up for a rebound. Malonzo pushing. Sends it out to Serrano. Melesio to the corner 3. No. Here comes Nonoy. Nonoy pulls up for 3. No. The tap goes to LaSalle. Serrano has Concepcion on him. Serrano with the right hand. No.
Nonoy again.
Back and forth we go. Abando thought about the 3. Abando is rejected.
One of the best games I've seen Bates play.
What a sequence here too. Look at that. Entry denied. Meet you upstairs.
Last line defender omnipresent in Brandon Bates.
Shot clock at 16 seconds.
54-42.
And that's a picture on why UST has had only 8 points in the quarter so far.
Wang will be called for a foul, a push.
And that will be a shooting foul given up by Zach Wang, and Baltazar will go to the line for 2 free throws.
Pushing foul on number 13, Zach Wong. Penalty, that's his 3rd foul.
Look at the numbers by Bates under the weather today. No missing from the field, 7 rebounds, 2 fouls, 1 block, 11 minutes, and a ton of intangibles.
Yes, and the shots that he has changed because of his presence underneath. And that made the most agile or quickest big man in the tournament. But Yes, improved immensely
Yeah.
from the first round,
And
moving forward.
Also, he came in this year in better shape also
Right.
as compared to
Saka mas
last year.
relax na siya, makita mo sa mukha.
Yep.
Mas connected na siya sa mga kasama niya. At mas yung game presence, mas nararamdaman for Bates.
Substitution for the
LaSalle is 10,
Tigers.
make that 11 of 23 from the free throw line as Chabio is back in the ball game. And now a 4-point lead for DLSU.
It's 19 points already for LaSalle in the third versus only 8 for UST after losing the first 2 quarters.
Oh. Abando continues to shoot, but he continues to miss.
This will also be 2 free throws given up by Hill on that push-off on Zachary Wong.
Paalala rin natin, as this is the 4th personal foul on Hill, paalala natin dun sa mga katsunin lamang, Coach Ronnie, na 7 ang abante ng UST sa pagsisimula ng ating third quarter.
44-37 to be exact.
So just to underscore what you're saying,
Yes.
that LaSalle is having a more productive quarter so far.
It really helped that Melesio was able to found his scoring touch, and his leadership and his quickness also was key to LaSalle's ability to get down and score and get those easy looks at the basket.
UST, in the meantime, from the free throw line, is 13 of 20.
9 in the quarter for UST, 19 for LaSalle. Down 7 earlier, now up by 3 versus the Tigers.
Sorry, check that, Coach Ronnie. It's 12 of 20 as you look at the run of DLSU on your screens. And they're looking to continue that run. Serrano from 14,
Difficult.
got it.
First basket for Serrano. Almost 10 again. 29-point outburst in that first round win versus UST. So far, very quiet today.
Look at the screens underneath being set, and a foul has to be called somewhere there,
That
Coach.
will be on Hill, and that will be it for Hill. This is the first 20-point quarter for the Archers after 18 and 19, or 19 and 18 in the first 20 minutes.
Hill and the leg extension ang itinawag dun on the cutting Chabio, but great job by Cyrus Hill here as he fouls out of this game, has given his body here today as UST now starting to miss. They are 12 of 21 from the free throw line.
As a team, this is a 63% shooting team from the line. And Chabio is a 70% shooter at 40 of 58 prior to those 2 free throws.
1 out of 2. As CJ Cancino, the captain, is back in the game. A 4-point deficit for the Growling Tigers.
10 in the quarter for UST so far.
Serrano, Baltasar has a smaller Cancino on him, but the double team is there. So they send it out. Malonzo lines up the 3. No. Chabio is the one called for the ward-off here. And again, because of Brandon Bates' activity.
Pushing foul on number 23, Solomon Chabio. Penalty.
They're correct.
That's his second foul.
2 guys that Chabio has to be wary of. Baltasar to his right and Bates to his left. And this is what Bates has done in terms of rebounding for the Archers. According to the report earlier of Ayana, this was a concern for them after the first half. Free throws and rebounding after a 7 of 17 clip from the line in the first 20 minutes.
It's only a 40% shooter. This is both. And they'll give another one to Bates here as a
Lane violation. Substitute
lane
for
violation,
Brandon
which I
Bates.
have not seen a lot of this year. Remember that year when there was almost like 3 or 4 a game?
Eh kasi sinasadya ng mga players para magkaroon ng jump ball para yung possession arrow mapunta sa kanila, di ba?
Remember that?
Yung ploy na yon.
3 misses by Bates from the free throw line. Speedo. Probably the only negative on that Bates game today.
Right.
The free throws. Other than that, he has all been a plus for LaSalle. Fade away by Yo. Rattles out.
And that was against Bates. No straight line drives, no loopers. That was away from the basket. Good coverage coming from Bates. UST kept to only 10 points with almost 9 minutes gone, while LaSalle has erupted for 21 in the first 9 minutes of the third.
63 seconds remaining here in the third. And LaSalle with a 7-point lead as Baltazar sends that baby home.
Not only has he hit his first triple, as we take a look at Coach JB, but he has given LaSalle its largest lead of this match, a 7-point cushion, 61-54.
LaSalle with only 5 turnovers in this game as Concepcion shoots it right away. Chavio tracking it down. Malonzo, look out! Goodbye! Some style points from Jamie Malonzo. Not happy with just a traditional dunk. He goes for the backside.
Mahirap yun. 26-10 is the quarter scoring so far. And one thing good about LaSalle, Baltazar stayed away from his 4th personal foul.
Concepcion for 3, swishes that one to at least bring it down to single digits. But DLSU exploding here in the third, 63-57, punctuated by a Jamie Malonzo smackdown. DLSU ends the third quarter on a 14-6 run to retake the lead and actually establish its biggest at 9 at 63-54 before Sherwin Malonzo knocked down that 3. But here it is again on our McDonald's instant replay. Not going for the frontal. It goes for the reverse. Malonzo not just dunking hard, but playing hard all throughout this game.
Playing extremely well all throughout this game. 19 for Malonzo. Baltazar's three-pointer gave Justin a total of 10 points. And even if he's 3 of 17, as we take a look at the quarter scoring, Baltazar's triple will force his defender to step out of the shaded area. De La Salle with its most productive quarter, doubling the scoring output of UST as they head into the quarter up by a 2-possession lead, increased to a 3-possession advantage after that offensive or rather interference on that incursion coming from Malonzo.
So siya nagsimula, siya nagpatapos ng third quarter, siya rin nagsimula dito sa ating fourth. Serrano puts on the brakes. Karakot, Baltazar, Malonzo, and Bates join into Serrano.
Look at this matchup.
Subito trying to stay in front of Malonzo, which meant somebody was free. It was Serrano who was smacked away by Zachary Juan.
Too deep.
Concepcion puts it on the floor and a foul by Karakot, who is trying to poke from behind. A second personal
Foul on
on
number
Andre
30,
Karakot.
That's his second
Karakot
foul.
still
One
had a
of the
productive
Green
match,
Archers.
but Melesio has been able to come out of his scoring slump after accounting for only 11 points in their last 2 matches, while Karakot, after a 6-point game versus FEU and a 2-point showing against UE, coming up with 1 field goal so far for the Archers.
Concepcion fakes, fires out, and again Bates high up as he continues to vacuum all those balls right now. 11 rebounds for Brandon Bates. Baltazar, Bates again, and a bang in the bucket. What a game for Brandon Bates, who did not start this game because he is under the weather. Boyson points in the paint. Brandon Bates.
We talked about that this is probably one of his best games this year. Look at the effort, look at the presence, helping out Baltazar. Baltazar right now, I believe, is 3 out of 18, but Bates has been there to clean up. Inside points for LaSalle in the third, 12 against UST's 2. Inside scoring all throughout the match. LaSalle with 28 points from the restricted zone.
Again, missing a free throw though. The only smudge in his stat line today. Nevertheless, it's a 10-point lead, the first double-digit lead by DLSU in this game. Paraiso sends it out, and Malonzo breaks up the play. The takeaway by LaSalle.
What a game by Malonzo. What we're seeing, of course, is the offensive outburst, but it's aided by their defensive tenacity on the other end.
It's a foul on a LaSallian, if I'm not mistaken. Third personal on Brandon Bates.
Once again, we have to reprise the fact that Baltazar, after being called for his third personal foul early in the previous quarter, stayed away from getting his 4th personal foul.
7 out of 10 from the field.
Look at Malonzo.
Personal best.
Every quarter he has scored, but more than that, it's the defense, it's the presence, it's the rebounding, and even perhaps containing the explosion of Cancino.
And Abando.
And Abando, of course, who has been kept to 9 points so far. Talking about Cancino, was averaged, I believe, 15 in the last 2 contests for UST.
Chabio again! Denied entry by Brandon Bates.
And he's trying to outrun Chabio on the return play.
What an effort. Alonso from way out. Gives up the dribble, gets it back, then jacks up a 3. That's off to the left. 7:45 remaining in a 10-point deficit for the Growling Tigers.
Prior to that 3-point miss, he was 3 out of 4 for 75%. Heading to the 4th. Big shooting performance. And the triple effort on defense, keeping LaSalle afloat.
Cancino pops out. Cancino drives, sets up Chabio, and again that looper doesn't work this time. Comes up short.
That was a good contest coming from Alonzo.
Paraiso for 3, no.
Alonzo again with a challenge and a leak out.
Serrano, Karakot, and Malonzo cleans up. It is a dozen-point lead after that Jollibee 100%. The amazing move of the quarter. DLSU is humming. Back inside the Araneta Coliseum as DLSU extends their lead to 69-57. Jamie Malonzo with his personal best 23 points. Brandon Bates, who on paper only has 2 blocks but has altered so many shots as Malonzo cleans up there and acts as garbage man for DLSU for the 12-point lead.
All of a sudden, the league's best offense
Sputtering.
sputtered against this 3-big combination of the Archers.
Bates, by the way, commits his 4th personal
Foul
foul.
number 32, Brandon
Missed
Bates.
3 training
That's his
days.
4th foul.
Coach Ronnie,
Prior to today's
prior
game.
to today's game, he has missed 3 training days and was even brought to the hospital, as we are told by Ayana Perla.
So it's all adrenaline working for him today.
Yeah.
Perhaps
And-
also
and-
the same as Mark Nonoy.
You know, there's urgency in this game, Coach Ronnie.
Oh, sink or swim na to for Lasal. They're trying to target 8 wins. They are 5-6 right now after finishing the first round at 3-4. And one of their 3 wins came at the expense of UST in their final match of the first round, winning in the first round by a blowout.
Coach Ronnie, if you're Coach JB, will you pull Bates out with 4 personal fouls and 6:47 remaining, or you keep him there and just trust him?
I don't think there's no pulling out right now of Bates and Baltazar. What are you saving it for?
Pati si Malonzo na rin.
Oo. Pero eto na, oh.
Substitutions for the Green Archers,
Maybe
Rocky
for a
Manuel
second,
and Aljon
you will
Balesio
get a
coming in
blow
for
here
Brandon Bates and
as
Andres Caracos.
Joaquin Manuel comes back and the appreciative crowd, the De La Salle side,
4.7 seconds on
applauding
shot
the
clock.
efforts.
This may be the
4.7
chance for
seconds to
UST
shoot.
to turn things around. After the halftime break, UST has only scored 15 points, while LaSalle has erupted for 32.
Manuel uses the left hand, but Chavio is there for the contest. It's a lot of time and a lot of basketball to play here. 6:30. Renz Abando has been silent. And because of the leech-like defense of Malonzo. Double team. A kick out and Manuel with a takeaway.
Malonzo once again deflecting that last turnaround.
What a pass! Hang time move by Serrano but could not finish. Nonoy, iniwanan yung dalawang player. And Abando with a follow-up will draw the foul. You see that burst of speed by Nonoy on Malonzo.
Right.
That's not, he's not a
Well,
slow.
Malonzo slowed down a
Rocky
bit,
Manuel.
but he was able to still catch Nonoy at the
Substitution for the
rim.
Green Archers.
But a tad second late will enable
Andres Caracos for Encho Serrano.
Nonoy to release, and
Substitution for
that
the
will
Growling
also
Tigers.
allow Abando to get that big side cleanup.
0 turnovers for the 2 guards, the 2 veterans,
That speaks a lot.
Caracot and Melesio. That's not the big number. It's the 46 minutes and 0 turnovers. Ang mabigat nun. That's heavy minutes.
And Serrano will be given a breather as he missed another point-blank attempt. Could have given them a 12-point lead. Abando, 9 points in their last win versus National U. And UST has averaged 85 points in the last 2 games. For the season, nearly 80 per game. With 6 minutes left, only good for 59 so far.
Nonoy missing the 3. Ando for the 3rd opportunity here for UST. Paraiso from the elbow. Cuts the lead to 8 with 5:46 remaining.
Always has that uncanny ability to hit a basket with either the shot clock winding down or the game on the line.
Same as this guy.
Oh,
That's
yes.
his reputation already.
Has always been clutch. Melesio, only 11 points in the last 2 games for the Archers, now with 16. Coming up with a big 3rd quarter.
Back to 11. Paraiso again from 18. Comes up short. Dive for the loose ball. Ends up with Caracot. Manuel. Baltazar. Caracot will reset with 17. Manuel jacks up another 3. This one rims out and a foul on a DLSU player.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up for UST. LaSalle over the limit. Nearly halfway here in the 4th.
Sometimes when you see Melesio shoot and you see his body in motion, you think there's no control. you get the impression that there's just no control in the shot, but it's all in that,
That's
that
by design.
arms and wrist.
Nakatira talaga niya yun.
He's so used to being
Solomon Chavio for
bumped,
J49.
diba, or nudged while he's, you know, jacking up three. So it's really, you know, you're a set shooter, Coach Ronnie, diba? You when
Really
you
the
play,
touch para kay Melesio.
siya talaga yung talon eh.
Kailangan niya mag-elevate kasi hindi siya katangkaran to get that shot off. Kung maliit man na defender o mas malaki na nagko-cover sa kanya. But somehow he gets the job done. No doubt
Amazing.
about it.
It's amazing.
Saka sniper.
Imagine the control of the upper body.
Missed 2 free throws earlier talking about Abando. Well, ang kagandahan para sa Lasal, na-overlook mo na yung free throw inaccuracy nila today.
Buti na lang, oo.
Kasi hindi sila napupunta sa linya ng marami dito sa fourth quarter. But when the game is on the line, they have to shoot really well from the line. Melesio with another getaway.
That's going to be a goaltending violation right after the Gatorade hydration checkpoint. Melesio in a foot race winning that one against Nonoy.
This is what I was referring to earlier before Mark Nonoy came on board the UAAP. It was Melesio who tortured opponents with blow-by moves from the backcourt to the front court.
He tortured and torched opponents.
And Nonoy will be replaced by Subido, who's a very good closer for UST this year. Remember that game versus UP in both rounds, drilling clutch baskets in the closing minutes.
Can they come back? The Growling Tigers with 4:40 remaining. The tap goes back to UST. Subido on cue. No! But he will shoot free throws. Ang ganda nung setup sana ni Coach Ronnie magsanok eh.
At napaswerte rin ng Lasal dahil
Yes,
nawalan ng cover and then in the contest. Rakot will be called for a shooting foul.
From that angle, looked like he did not hit him. We don't see it here.
Imagine kung pumasok yun tapos merong bonus shot.
3+1 special.
Right. UST in the quarter,
Subido.
only with 6 points. Lasal with 11. And in the last 2 quarters, after the count was at 44-37, entering the final half, Lasal has erupted for 37 points, while UST has only managed 20 points.
Under 62% shooting from the free throw line for the graduating Renzo Subido. They like this. Stop the clock.
Right?
Get some points.
This is what UST likes. Father played for the Fighting Maroons, and his grandfather is an Olympian, a legend in track and field.
Unhinged in that trip. 3 free throws to cut the lead down to 8 with 4:30 remaining. Karakut gets blitzed. Gives up the dribble. Melesio evading 2 players. Sends it out to Karakut from the corner. That's short. And the tap goes to UST. Approaching the 4-minute mark here at the Araneta Coliseum, and an 8-point deficit for the Growling Tigers. Chabio uses the pick, steps into traffic, navigates through, and cuts the lead down to 6 at 74-68 with 3:55 remaining in this game. UST with a quick 5-0 run prior to that timeout. The 3 free throws of Subido, the incursion by Chabio,
Right, that
cutting
was
the lead
key.
down to 6.
He was the 3 free throws given to Subido, especially at Richie Rivero.
Di na umalis.
And of course, Bernice Paraiso, the sister of Brent Paraiso. Eh, mag-teammates yung dalawang yan, di ba?
Kaibigan at
Kaibigan yan, oo.
Kaibigan. Ganda nga nung labanan nila nung UP-UST. Si Paraiso at si Rivero nagbabantayan pa.
2-0 na, lamang na si Brent kay Richie.
Yes. Dito naman, gustong gawin ng Lasal, ma-2-0 ang UST.
Eh, kontrapelo talaga na matatawag, no? Pero, ang UST, tandaan natin, is a very good fourth quarter team.
3 free throws by Subido. Chabio with 2 points. Can UST get a stop? No, they don't. Inusog ni
You,
Baltazar ang depensa.
you like that execution, getting into their go-to player, very patient, going deep, closer to the basket. Baltazar right now with a total, I believe, of 12 points.
Chabio sets the roadblock for Paraiso. Paraiso misses. Bates is back in the ball game and hauls another rebound down. Melesio setting up Karakot, relocates, then drives, sends it out to Baltazar from the elbow. Back-to-back connections from Baltazar. So a 4-0 run to answer the 5-0 run.
1 of 11 in the first 2 quarters was Baltazar, only with 3 points in the first 20 minutes. Now, with a total of 14, 12, or rather 11 in the final 2 quarters.
Finally a 3 from Abando, although that is his second, but he has missed a ton today.
Ito yung nagkukulang sa laro ng offense o sa offensive game ng UST, no? Yung 3-point sniping nila. Na normally, talagang pinapahirapan yung ibang teams. What a
Ganda nung
pass.
pasa. Melesio with a dime to Brandon Bates, who continues to be active in this game.
Best passing team with 15 assists in the first 30 minutes. Finding another open teammate. 80 points for LaSalle right now.
Imagine mo yung assist to turnover ratio nila. Ang baba. Ang
Baba,
ganda
ganda.
ng numero. Abando again. Not that time. And Malonzo high up for the rebound. As we get into the deep
2
waters
minutes remaining.
of this UST LaSalle game. PS Bank last 2 minutes. PS Bank pasend via mobile. Ang padala mo, cash agad in minutes. As UST and LaSalle drag each other down into the deep waters. Must win for LaSalle. Subido still with possession at short.
Ooh. Against UP, he made a couple of those to break the hearts of the Fighting Maroons.
Panipis ng panipis yung oras para dito sa UST as Bates drives. Baltazar will kick it out to his point guard.
And smartly resets after that second look.
5 on the shot clock. Baltazar fades away, comes up short, and Bates tracks down the rebound again. The hero of this game.
What a performance coming from Brandon Bates.
That's
Career
just-
game for Bates and Malonzo.
Just the effort by Bates here.
And being fearless is the attitude. Down with illness, no practice in the last 3 days.
Oh, no, three training sessions missed, hospitalization.
Look at
He draws,
Baltazar.
sorry, Coach Ronnie, the 5th personal foul of Paraiso. Baltazar,
Yun ang mabigat.
double-double.
And it was a struggle to get to where he is right now. Everything was pure hard work. Everything is about making the necessary adjustments in the last 2 quarters. Talking about LaSalle's top player for the year. A Mythical 5 member in season 81, Justin Baltazar.
80-71. And LaSalle is looking to squeeze this clock. Melesio for 3, looking for the dagger. No. Still some time for UST to make a run here. They double team Abando. Melesio diving for the loose ball. Manuel kicks it out to Melesio. But ate up a lot of that time, Coach Ronnie.
Well, I thought that he was not going for a shot and tried to burn more time. on the game clock.
Batalier, Abando for 3, got it. 28 seconds and a 6-point deficit.
Substitution for the Green Archers. Jamie
If you're LaSalle, you
Malonzo
cannot
coming
get
in
careless
for
here.
Rocky Manuel.
No timeout called.
Substitution for the Growling
While
Tigers.
Nonoy and Cancino are back, this is
Mark
for
Nonoy
defensive
replacing
purposes.
Rex
Abando will
Abando.
move out.
2 possession lead for the Archers.
Di pa penalty ang UST, no,
Oo,
Coach?
hindi pa. UST with a total of 17 in the quarter. LaSalle with 17 as well.
They're gonna pressure their guards as much as they can, talking about UST. Double team. And it worked that time. So turnover, and Coach Alden Ayo predictably will call this timeout to map up a play with 19 seconds
Timeout,
remaining.
University of
LaSalle
Santo
is not
Tomas.
yet out of the woods. "19 seconds, 80 for DLSU, 74 for UST. That, Coach Ronnie, is only the second turnover
Wow.
of DLSU in the second half. They've had 9 assists since we were talking about that assist turnover ratio. 9 assists and 2 turnovers only in the second half. Not in the fourth quarter, but in the whole of second half. Abando for 3. Got it! We are not yet done here at the Araneta Coliseum. Abando with 2 triples to make LaSalle worry just a tad bit longer. on a broken play. Coach Ronnie, take us through it.
Well, UST was looking for a 3 ball. Alonso almost had that basketball. Instead, he left Abando open, and Abando has scored on back-to-back triples. 11 of UST's 20 points in the fourth quarter coming from Abando, who was held scoreless in the third after finishing with 6 points in the first 2 quarters.
I was just about to say, quietly, he gets his point total
and
to
quietly,
17.
he kept UST alive.
Yeah.
And to be blunt about it, resurrecting UST's chances after LaSalle was comfortably ahead earlier by a 3-possession lead. UST will try to fall as quick as possible because they are not yet over the limit. Pero meron ng 4 na personal fouls itong si Matalier as they try to funnel this inbound play of the Archers.
They give it to Karakun. They double
Taking
team.
too long.
They have double team. And a steal. Abando will stop for a 3 and gets it to go. Did he step on the line though? Coach Alden Ayo is looking at it right on the court.
They will review that.
1.3 seconds remaining. They have to review this. Coach Alden feels, I think, with the way he looks right now,
That he stepped on the line.
I think he feels, but what a play. First, the giveaway, the transgression, taking it away. Abando steps into play, steps onto the court, maybe steps onto the line, knocks down that long 2, at least from that angle.
8 points in under a minute. The legend of Abando continues to grow this season.
That's why the folk hero is so popular.
Unbelievable comeback coming from UST. That will be 13 of their 22 points coming from Abando.
The question is, there are 2 questions here. First, long 2 or 3? Second, is this resurrection a little bit too late for UST? We'll find out in a few seconds.
Defending without fouling, and then Abando playing the passing lane, stopping and popping.
From that angle, it looks like he stepped. Coach Alden Ayo had the feeling, no, na parang
He checked.
tumapak. Oh.
That was the first thing he did.
Yep.
When he went inside the hard court was to check the line.
Pinapakababa ang Lasal dito with 1.3 seconds remaining.
And anytime you have good outside shooters, 3-point snipers, even an 8-point lead, as we have seen in this match, is not safe at all.
Long 2. And that sign just broke the hearts of a lot of UST fans here
And that,
at the Araneta.
That might just have saved the season for LaSalle as well.
Right. Ano bang size ng paa nito si Sabando? Makaila, pakitanong nga kung anong size ng paa ni...
Ganda na sapatos eh.
Oh boy, what an ending. What a bizarre ending to this game. So the recourse now for LaSalle is for UST is to foul.
Oo,
obviously.
kasi may isang timeout pa yung UST.
A technical foul is going to be called
On LaSalle?
on LaSalle. Oh, wait a minute. This plot just thickened.
Oh my.
Did you see a T or a timeout?
You have to double check this. Basket timeout.
Okay, parang nagkaagulo dito kasi
Basket timeout.
hindi nagkakaintindihan ng referee, ang mga player,
A
ang
timeout
audience.
should be awarded to LaSalle.
Okay, there you go. So a timeout is called, not a technical, because everybody reacted here. UST celebrated, thinking that it was a technical.
Alam mo naman, pag nakita mo yung T na yun, pero magkaiba yung technical sa timeout
yung,
eh.
yung ano, yung one finger.
Yes, oo.
80-79.
Now LaSalle has to try to inbound this ball as safely as possible and not throw the ball straight to the front court
Yes.
of UST. Was done an excellent job defending in the last minute of the fourth quarter after being down by as much as 8 late here in the fourth.
As we mentioned earlier, DLSU still has 2 games, and they're the UP Fighting Maroons And the now Adamson Soaring Falcons, who are out of Final Four contention, while UST has one game remaining after this DLSU game, which is taking forever to finish. And that is the one game remaining for them.
For LaSalle, it's all about making it to the Final Four. For UST, the race is against UP to get to 9 wins.
So UP obviously rooting for LaSalle.
I see them. I saw the coaching staff watching earlier.
Alam mo, Coach Ron, kanina pa ako nandito nung second game pa lang. Yung mga UP fans na iwan, rooting for Adamson kanina against FEU.
Yung FEU rooting for NU earlier.
Kanina,
so maaga rin sila pumunta. So ngayon naman, who is rooting for LaSalle or who is for UST?
Napunit na. Itong mga... This game just doesn't want to end.
Substitution for
What
the
a
Green
triple header
Archers.
today.
What a triple header.
Alfred
Escape
Malazo.
is the word. UP escape,
Right?
FEU escaping, and LaSalle is looking to escape this last-ditch rally of UST. Caragon will bounce it off the back of Ira Batalier to seal the win. What a second half for DLSU to beat UST with a 2-game winning streak. And it was almost taken away from them.
Almost.
Almost, but not quite.
Because of turnovers and perhaps yung use ng game clock doon sa dulo.
And almost with that 3-point shot of Renza Bando, which would have sent this to overtime.
That was
Huge.
clear as day. Abando
Right.
with the fourth quarter explosion.
Right.
Almost stealing this game away from LaSalle.
And look at that play from Andre Karakut, bouncing it off and just finishing the time here. As
Aldin
Melesio
Ayo, yeah.
and Aldin Ayo have a nice little moment here in the midcourt. Remember, Aldin, bata niya rin yan si Melesio, but Melesio probably emotional because you explain it, Coach Ronnie. How massive is this win against?
Well, had they
UST?
lost today, the maximum number of wins that they could have pocketed was just 7. And they had to hope that FEU would lose its last game.
Right.
Or else, goodbye season for them. At kailangan pa nilang ipanalo yung huling dalawa nila. But because of this win versus UST, UST's maximum number of wins will be at 8 because they still have one remaining match to be played.
So it's not just Melesio who's emotional right now. Coach Jermaine Bird is also having a moment here. Like we said, it is a massive win for LaSalle today, who were, by the way, a little disappointed prior to this game because FEU won against Adamson earlier. And now they keep their hopes alive here. Now, okay, let's talk about UST real quick, Ronnie. Just to be fair, as we look at our PS Bankable Player of the Game, PS Bank Home Loan, isang araw lang may bahay ka na. Jamie Malonzo with a personal best here in the UAAP.
Brilliant all match long. In spite of the fact that Brandon Bates also had a career game, it was Malonzo who carried this team on his shoulders from the opening tip to the final buzzer. Also Baltasar and Melesio
For sure.
for the Archers.
The Dataland Residential's quality win was won by De La Salle University. UST, I wanted to ask you about that, Coach Ronnie.
It's as simple as this. They were trying to chase 9 wins, and only one team was capable of doing that aside from UST. That will be the Fighting Maroons, who still have 2 games left against LaSalle on Sunday and against Ateneo, I believe, on Wednesday. While for UST, their chance to get to 9 wins and a solo second spot finish will now be gone. But they're hoping to get 8 wins as they play Adamson in their last match and hope that UP will not win its last 2 matches as well.
So Jamie Malonzo got a post-game award, but we have to give a post-game award also to Brandon Bates.
Oh, no doubt.
AXA, No You Can, player of the game. Effort, activity, and a lot of heart displayed by a guy who missed 3 training sessions coming into the game.
LaSalle stays alive with this hard-earned win versus UST, and UP will now be 1 win ahead of the Tigers with 2 more play dates for the Fighting Maroons. FEU, the hottest team after Ateneo here in round 2, is still
They're not in the mood to lose, huh?
in position to get their 8th win as they play out their remaining playing schedule. Ateneo looking to sweep the opposition in its last 2 matches. Adamson, UE, and NU will be saying goodbye to their chances of making it to the semis this year.
LaSalle and UP still have to meet each other, so that's another...
That will be on Sunday.
Yeah, that's another game that will be very big. But Saturday muna tayo, bago maglinggo. NU and Ateneo will meet each other as Ateneo gets closer to that sweep. UST tries to bounce back in this game against Adamson Soaring Falcons, who are now officially knocked out of Final Four contention. And then yung sinasabi ni Coach Ronnie na Sunday, UE and FEU. As we said, FEU not in the mood to lose here in the second round. And then a massive game between UP and DLSU for more Final Four positioning here in the UAAP. So that will do it. Escape is the word of the day. UP escaping earlier with an 80-77 win against National University. And then it was FEU escaping with a 63-60 win against Adamson University. And in the third game of our triple dip, LaSalle escaping the last-ditch rally of UST, 80-79. For Coach Ronnie Magsano, Ayana Perlas, Makaila Chavez, Direk Abet Ramos, I'm Boom Gonzalez for ABS-CBN Sports. More UAAP is coming on the weekend, so stay tuned to SNA.